You haven't fully recovered yet, but that is to be expected. You are almost beyond saving.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at helpful tips and tricks to make the most of your journey through Tears of the Kingdom.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Think outside the box. With Ultra Hand, Link can move and attach a variety of Zonai devices the game gives you, and with Auto Build, he can save whatever creation he'd like. However, there are a lot more resources that Ultra Hand and Auto Build can use that aren't Zonai devices. If you ever come across an item you think could be useful in a build, immediately attach something to it to place it in Auto Build and save it for later. Propellers found in certain shrines have been used for all manner of death traps and extravagant vehicles. One of my personal favorites are the explosive boulders used by Marbled Goma. Once it's saved, you can then spend a few charges to blow up whatever group of enemies you come across. Pay attention to passives. There are a lot of weapons in Tears of the Kingdom, which means a lot of different fusing opportunities. But you should always pay attention to whatever passive ability a weapon has, because that can determine not only what type of material you should use, but how strong the resulting weapon will be. Gerudo weapons increase the strength of whatever material is fused to them. Zora weapons deal double damage when wet, which can be great when using Sidon's ability or by simply throwing a splash fruit at your feet. Forest Dweller weapons make it so bursting materials like Puff Shrooms and Dazzle Fruit don't break on contact. As for the latter, that can be particularly useful when dealing with skeletal enemies. Rocket Shield Surfing. The rocket is one of the best Zonai devices in Tears of the Kingdom for multiple reasons. Attaching them to vehicles grants a great boost to speed for a few seconds, and attaching one to a shield can send Link soaring into the sky to reach new areas. But these can also be used to travel horizontally. If Link shield surfs with a rocket shield, it will carry him forward as well as upward. If you have enough, this can shorten travel time by quite a bit. It's especially fun doing this in the low gravity sections, as you can pretty much get wherever you need to with ease. Mighty Strike. There are a few ways to get your attacks to deal more damage in Tears of the Kingdom. Stealthily approaching foes from behind will let Link perform a sneak strike, which deals a ton of damage. If you freeze an enemy, the next attack that hits them will deal 3 times the damage. We highly recommend doing both whenever you can. If you sneak up on an enemy and throw an ice fruit on the ground next to them rather than hit them, they'll still be frozen. But you'll also still be hidden from them, able to perform the sneak strike. Needless to say, this attack can easily wipe out a lot of standard enemies. Recall literally everything. When players are first introduced to the recall ability, the potential of its usefulness doesn't really click. But since launch, we've all been finding incredible ways to harness it. You can hold something in place above you with Ultra Hand, freeze it in place with Recall, and then ascend to your makeshift platform to reach a higher location. I dropped so many things off of Sky Islands, failing to grab it with Ultra Hand, until I realized it's much easier to activate Recall and stop time. The ability can also be used offensively and defensively in combat. Activating on certain projectiles, like an Octorox rock, will send it back where it came from. The noise made when the ability deactivates also grabs the attention of enemies, distracting them so you can catch them off guard. Seek out Wiz Robes. Wiz Robes are fairly weak enemies in Tears of the Kingdom, and since they only ever drop magical rods, I found myself skipping these encounters quite a lot. But if you ever need to make some extra money, Wiz Robes should actually be sought out. Once you defeat one and grab whatever elemental rod they drop, you can take it to Terrytown to have Pelison remove the gemstone without destroying it for 20 rupees.
Oh!
These gems can earn you more money than most individual items, so the price is worth it. That's especially the case if you go to Ramella in Goron City. Although she buys them in groups of 10, she pays more than every other merchant. So fighting these minor enemies can lead to a great cash flow. Pocket Updraft. Tears of the Kingdom teaches players about updrafts. By throwing a pine cone into a campfire, Link creates a massive gust of wind he can ride to a high-up spot. Another feature of the game is the ability to save Link's recipes. After he's made a meal, it's saved in the inventory, letting you click it once to have Link automatically grab the necessary ingredients and save you some time. However, if you cook wood, a pine cone, and a fire fruit into a meal, it results in seemingly useless rock-hard food. But with that recipe saved, you can then select it to have Link grab everything he needs to create an updraft. It's not much, but any time saved from sifting through the inventory is still nice. Getting around bomb flowers. Like many past Zelda games, you'll find yourself using a lot of bombs in Tears of the Kingdom. Outside of combat, they're great for mining and exploring caves. While bomb flowers are fairly common, there will still be times when you'll want to preserve them. Thankfully, there are alternatives. You find out almost right away that boulder and hammer type weapons can smash rocks, mine resources, and break enemy armor. Then there are Zonai devices. The cannon and time bomb will obviously do the trick, but so too will the portable pot. Of course, Yonobo's dungeon is almost entirely based around his ability to destroy giant rocks, but adding Riju's lightning strike to your arrow will break these obstacles just as well. Infinite bombs. Almost immediately, players found glitches to duplicate items. Most of them have now been removed through patches, but there's a clever one that comes to us from the channel 100% Zelda. They found a stone talus with bokoblin archers that carry bomb flowers in their packs. By wearing a bokoblin mask, defeating the stone talus, and saving, they were then able to reload with just the minor enemies. You can then kill all but one, stun the remainder to make it drop its bow, and save and reload again. Then they attached a homing cart to a stake, placed it nearby, and activated it, causing the bokoblin to throw its bombs at the device. By crouching next to the enemy, you can steal the bomb from its hand right before it throws it. The cart lasts for around 30 minutes, giving you plenty of time to exploit this loop. Mineru's Might. I've often seen some players complain about Minu since she can be a bit slow and doesn't have a flashy feature like the other sages do. But what she does have should not be discounted. Her size allows Link to ride on her back, which can let you grab high-up resources. More importantly, she's immune to all the nasty hazards that can mess Link up, including lava, gloom, quicksand, and thick mud. Her big shield can take strong hits without staggering her, unlike Link. And she can even parry attacks, allowing Link to follow up with heavy damage. Furthermore, her dual-wielding Zonai devices lead to a lot of creative ways to fight. It's unlikely you'll get her until late in the game unless you know where to look, but once you do, she'll prove her worth in unexpected ways. What tips and tricks would you like to pass on to other players?
But you are not alone.
Share them with us in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more great Zelda videos.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.